Hi, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today I have the two final decks that came to me for review from Chengdu Arcana. This is the Awakening Enlightenment cards and the Glimmer Enlightenment cards. Now, I have reviewed quite a few of these Enlightenment card decks, and I will put all of them in the cards above as we go through. And all of those, you'll see them popping up there. All of those, you can find them down below the description box. So if you scroll down below the description box, all the cards will be listed down there, and you can take a look at some of the other decks. I have found that the best way to purchase these is from the creator, which is Chengdu Arcana, and I'll put that link in the description box below. They have the best prices, but if you're shipping from China and you're not in China, the shipping can be a little bit high. So that's why I always suggest take a look at some of the other decks that I've reviewed. Maybe you might see other things that you want to put in and have them all shipped together. So that is my spiel. So these are 36 card oracle decks. There's a series of them. They all have different writers and different creators. And I have been using them. I love the quality of them. The cardstock is wonderful. It's like a linen. They have great keywords and fun pictures, and I've been enjoying them. So they're all the same style boxes, and they all come with the same production quality, but the keywords are all different, and they all have just a little bit of a different vibe because of the artwork. So let's take a look at the Awakening first, and then we'll take a look at the Glimmer, and then we'll look at them side by side so that you can see them together. This is not going to be a decisions video, just because these decks aren't necessarily comparative. I don't think they are very different, but they're showing them here together because they're my last two. The other ones that I showed together, I felt like kind of had a nice comparison, but these are just the last two in the stack here. So these are the inside of the boxes. A little fish in a bottle and then a plant. They come in a hard box, no thumb hole cutouts. So they all come with this guidebook, which has little write-ups for the cards in English and in Chinese. According to Google, this is simple Chinese. And the introductions to all of them is the same. The forwards are all the same. They all say, these are oracle cards. Use them to grow. Use them to do readings to help yourself grow, to gain joy, love, enlightenment, all that kind of stuff. There's always a couple of spreads. Each one is written by a different person, so they all have kind of a different vibe to the writing, but they all have the same layout. So you've got the title and a number, and then a little bit of a blurb about advice on the card, and then some keywords. So for number one, shaking off, you can see the image there. It says, confronted with those passive states or long-term imprisonment, we always want to have a breakthrough. This requires courage and the ability to face challenges. Shaking off does not rest upon mere thinking, but action. Maybe this is also not something that can be done within a short time. And the enlightenment words are difficulty, farewell, change, breakthrough, strength, and choice. You can see all of the keywords being reflected in the image there. All of the decks have the same backs, but with different colors. This one has a blue, and it has blue metallic edging. And they're all numbered, and I don't have them in order, so I'm just going to pop them in order, and then we'll take a look at the cards. Okay, so there is the artist and the artwork. So written by Artwork Graphic Design. And this artwork is so detailed, and it's like fantasy. It's like a soft fantasy like, I don't know, I don't want to say comic book. I want to say it's like fantasy art. But very detailed and beautiful, and it kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, like a cartoon, like a movie, but like a fantasy animated movie, a beautifully animated one. So yeah, I enjoy this artwork. So this one is, so we start with shaking off, and here are the backs up close. So we have jealousy. You've got this snake, and look at that snake's face. Wonderful. Reliance. You've got this bear that's it's keeping the girl safe. She's hidden in his pocket, but he's in this river. I mean, or in this, like, I don't know. I don't know if this is a river or what. I'm thinking this is Manhattan, so this would be the river. And the waves are huge, and it's like even he could sink in this, It's almost like the water's coming to Central Park or something. Attack, change, dreamland. How beautiful that is. Onlooking. So it's like, dreaming. You're looking at what everybody else is doing and wishing you could be there or wishing you were there. Sort of comparing yourself to what you see in the other windows. I'm guessing that's what it is. Let's look it up. Let's see what it says because I'm just making that up. Let me see. It says, he is just a bystander far away from me. This is not necessarily the actual distance, perhaps the distance between the hearts. Maybe there are estrangements and misunderstandings, or maybe I'm not touching enough. I'm also a bystander, may, uh, maybe timid, afraid to try and take responsibility, or even don't care. So I stand in the distance, just watching, or maybe I'm the brave overcoming all obstacles. It reminds me that it's time to examine myself here and now from the perspective of a bystander. And the keywords are indifferent, unmoving, scheming, distant, rational, and sober. Interesting. And see, now I saw something completely different in that image. So there's, something to be gleaned from opening up that guidebook. Continuance, acceptance, destruction, faith, learning, out of control, collision, limitation, greed, success, desire, ooh, at all costs, growth, activity, stability, slowness, resource, tradition, consumption. And I find that there's a good amount of like neutral cards as well as negative and positive influences. Like you have persistence and quietness, but then you also have obedience, which could be kind of neutral, right? And then you have favor, accumulation, which could also lean either way, reference, experience, and then there's tiredness, which could be more on a negative side, forgetting also. That could, I guess, lean either way, but this image makes me find more of the negative quality of forgetting, regret. So there's a balance here for sure. Interest. And we have 36 cards. So I have used this deck by itself because I don't find that it mixes well with my other Enlightenment card decks. So I've been using this one just alone and I haven't had any issues with it. It gives good reading, especially I find that the keywords really match the images, probably the best out of all of these for me. But I do like to try to mix them sometimes because it's only 36 cards. If you mix two of the decks and they're all the same size and shape, you can get 72 cards. So that's an option as well. I haven't mixed this one though. I've just been using it by itself. Let me show you the size. So it's slightly larger, taller than a normal Oracle deck. So this is a normal size tarot card, and you can see that they are much taller and a good bit wider. And then this is a rock pool Oracle deck, and you can see that they are much taller than a rock pool deck, but more narrow. And this deck is probably about the same size as any Hay House deck that you would have. So just so that you can get a feel for the size. Tall and narrow for an Oracle deck, and the cardstock is bendable and it's linen. It's just like a glossy linen. I don't know if you can see the linen there, but but they are linen. They're linen. It's like a glossy linen. Um, and they do shuffle pretty easily. My hands are small, so I have to do it this way. I can't do it the other way, but I don't have any issues shuffling these cards at all. And for like a fan, it's like a nice fan. All right, so we have collision. Let's read for collision. We have number 14. All right, so you can read both of those for yourself if you would like. So it says the collision among two or more subjects with different ideas arises from consciousness and shows in behavior. It may be fierce, tactical, and designing. This is a kind of opposition in which one expects to conquer the other party and make the other party obey one's consciousness or interests. It manifests itself in mutual tearing and mutual resistance, um, and may be accompanied by intense behavior. The Enlightenment words are war, victory or defeat, fierce, offensive, active, and conquer. So that's the guidebook for the Awakening Enlightenment cards. Let's take a look at the Glimmer Enlightenment cards now. Okay, same box, like I said, same style, same production style, no thumb hole cutouts, so you just gotta shake them. Well, this is the inside and the little pictures. I don't know if you can see them. The backs are this sage green and the edges are like this rose color. And I will put them in order as well. Let's take a quick look at the guidebook. So this one is written by, here's the writer and artist for that one. And same setup. We've got the Chinese in the front and the English in the back. Same forward, and the application guides with the spreads here are the same, and then the write-up style is the same, but you've got a different writer. So let's just read one. Let me find courage. You can tell I've been using them because none of them are in order. Okay, so it says, when responsibility and accountability carry enough weight, it becomes easy to overcome fears within. Facing everything with confidence and not being afraid of facing unknown outcomes. Courage differs from impulsiveness in that it involves the magnanimousness as you confront things directly, the experience as you accept, as well as initiative, concentration, and giving. And the enlightenment words are facing things directly, fearlessness, solving the problem, taking responsibility. And so that's courage. You can see this girl going up to this all-seeing eye with teeth. And it's really more story-based, I think. And so is the writing on the deck. So if you look in the guidebook really kind of tells a story, as opposed to the other ones, which are really just kind of listing things that you could think of. This one actually, I want to say, has more of a story-based element to it. So you've got courage, affirmation, rebirth. You can see the phoenix happening there. Speculation, fear. And this one is a good example. Like you can see the story in this image. She's in this bubble, like she's put herself in something because she's afraid. And then when you look in the guidebook, it says, you find yourself immersed in a dark cave with no sounds or light around you. You are trapped in complex relationships with no channels for seeking help and no paths to escape. You stand there feeling flustered. So what is causing your fear? Is it because of your obsessiveness or the inability to practice self-forgiveness? And then the words are being afraid, chaos, powerlessness, and discouragement. Cleaning, if the water washing things away. Open. It looks like there's a cage here, right? And they've escaped it, or maybe they're opening up to each other. I'm not sure. Let's read. Let's see what it says in the guidebook. This involves two aspects, internal and external, receiving and letting go. It's not just about expressing our own emotions, but also about listening to different opinions. Do not underestimate the voices of others, nor ignore the need for emotional release within ourselves. Pouring out and listening are equally important, and the keywords are friendship, travel, gathering, inclusiveness, and empathy. Here we have integrity. And this one, I think the keywords are um, really more for reading about people. So you've got integrity, deception, fear, openness, chaos. I think these are great for reading with relationships with people or how people interact with each other and also how people interact with the world. So you've got, I think I said chaos, vigilance, procrastination, responsibility. When I look at this deck, it reminds me of the Cirque. Is it the Cirque de Tarot from Llewellyn? The colors and the style. So I wonder for people who have that one, have you tried to pair these up? I'd love to hear it in the comments. Fearlessness, glory, silence, enthusiasm, acceleration, help, equality, spontaneity, goodwill. There's a lot to look at in these cards. Deficiency, concealment, romance. That one reminds me of the wisdom of Hafiz Oracle and the Silas Tabal's artwork. Delusion, purity, allocation. I love this with the stacks and the different the different notes on each one. Cautiousness, non-interference, expansion, transcendence, anticipation. Also could be a card about patience. We have the lotus flowers here as well. Giving. It's almost as if we have a higher being giving to a human, giving to an animal, or this could be a higher self giving to herself and then her bringing herself into oneness with the others. I think it's cool. This is a cool picture because this higher being almost looks like a bird, right? Then we've got loneliness, reality, and that's the last card. And here are the backs. So since I already did the sizing and all that in the other deck, we'll just shuffle and read a card and then look at them side by side. So we'll read allocation. I like this card. So here it is if you'd like to read it for yourself. So it says, if there is a lack of planning and organization, it can result in a scattered and disorganized state without focus or order. This can impede progress and necessitate the presence of a leader or commander. The leader understands the relationship between goals and organization and is skilled at integrating and utilizing resources while being familiar with the strengths and weaknesses of each individual. They allocate specific tasks and responsibilities to those who excel in them, creating an efficient order that works toward achieving the objectives. The Enlightenment words are leadership, command, division of labor, collaboration, and communication. So that's the guidebook for this one. I mean, I guess they could work together. I just have never tried them together. That doesn't mean they couldn't go together, you know? A lot of these decks I think are meant to work together. There are 36 cards for each deck, but I think you're meant to like use them with each other, you know? I mix them together into like a mega deck. But you know, you could also like pick and choose certain cards to make different decks. They're all the same size and shape. The backs are similar. They're different colors, but similar. So you could go through and pick keywords out and build your own decks, build a love deck, build a career deck, build an enlightenment deck, and like that. A daily pull deck and stuff like that, using all of them. Um, or you could do like I do and just use one or two together. But I do find them to be useful decks, especially for to use with tarot. Like if I wanted to, when you need something more in a tarot reading and you just want to add on to a tarot reading, I could use it for that. Or I could use it in the center of a reading, like as the theme of the reading for a daily pull. And, also you could just use them for bedtime pulls. I mean, you could use them any however you like. The keywords are, you could use them to see what the energy for a reading is. Like if you're doing a reading for a person and they're like, well, what's my energy for this month, or what should I focus on this month? These are great cards, especially with these keywords and these wonderful pictures to start with, I find. So those are the enlightenment cards. I'm sorry, the awakening enlightenment cards and the glimmer enlightenment cards. So I'll put the links down below for the publisher, but there are a couple of other resellers that I've heard people talk about. One that I know and trust is Magic Flower Tarot. I've used them before. Um, Another one is Vermilion. I've never used Vermilion, but I've heard good things. So I would say shop around, see who ships to you. But I'm going to put the link for the publisher down below if you're interested in buying directly from them. They have the best price, but like I said, that shipping costs, So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends or anybody who you think might be interested in seeing these decks. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I release videos every few days regarding tarot and oracle, and I would love to have you. And until I see you guys next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye bye.